What's up, everybody? Welcome to Crafter Hours. I'm David Wilson, and we're back again with another bi-weekly or twice a week stream. I never know how the bi-weekly word works, where we get together and work on something new, or not really new necessarily, but we're working on a project that's kind of an ongoing thing, and just try to see how much progress we can make on it during about 2.5 hour time period, and then just have some fun, writing some Lisp code, in this case, Scheme. So let's see. Oh, wow. The screen is not correct. I need to reload this screen sharing thing. 1 second. I noticed that it's showing something from Monday, which is incorrect. There we go. Maybe it'll pop up now. Okay. How's the audio video sync on the camera? It's once again doing something a little bit strange. I'm not exactly sure how well it's working, but it may be close enough. Hello to Glenneth and Cal in the IRC chat. If you're on the YouTube or Twitch side, say hello so we can get the morning started here with some nice friendly greetings. Oh boy. I'm just remembering the, well, I don't know if I want to talk about that here. A little bit of drama in the Emacs subreddit the last couple of days. Kind of interesting. Maybe that's a topic for Friday, though. Trevor says sync is slightly off, but fine. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Every time I plug in the camera on this computer, it's really out of sync, and then I have to keep messing with it to get it to finally get back in sync. Like turn off the camera, unplug the device, plug it back in, restart OBS. Lots of stuff. Drama llama. That's a pretty accurate way to put it. Okay. So today, let's just write down a little bit of an agenda for what I want to accomplish today. Where am I? Okay, right here. So this is Wednesday. I'm off to a great start with the typing. Fantastic. So, let's just do this. I need a way to sort of remember what I plan to do as well as write down the notes of what we do. So we'll do a little bit of both. So what I'd like to do, a couple things. Before we get into a lot of the development stuff for what we'll do today, I actually want to try to make a video out of, where's the chat? Out of scheme match expressions. I would like to talk about scheme match expressions. So try to record a video and intro short for scheme match expressions, because we've been using them a little bit and they're cool. And I don't know that there's been a whole lot of information about them on the internet, or at least on YouTube. Not really sure if I've seen it before. So it'd be cool to have a little video about that, explaining how they could be used, maybe a couple different use cases. And then once we get through that, we will hack on the web interface for emacspackages.com to use the information we've stored in the database, which is going to require some more SQL work to do the queries to get the information out that we need. And also some HTML, CSS work to make it look, somewhat presentable. So hopefully that won't take too long. And then also need to record a summary video for project progress over the last week. Because that's part of the whole goal here, is to make it so that people don't have to watch the stream recordings. Now, I'm going to be paying attention to whether people are watching them or not, because people are just watching the stream recordings and they don't want to watch the summary videos. That's fine. I'm okay with that too. So we'll just have to sort of adjust to what the preferences of the interested parties are. The interested parties being you all who are either watching the recording or here with me live, and I appreciate all of you. Okay, so I think that's it. Trev, I'm gonna get to your stuff whenever we get into the coding part of it, because we definitely need to discuss the stuff that you looked into, because we did have some trouble at the end of last stream I think the code wasn't running last time, so we have a couple bugs we need to fix, and I think Trev has looked into a few of those and maybe fix them. So we'll take a look at Trev's fixes and then see where we can go from there. But first, we'll talk about match expressions. Before I try to create a video on it, though, in this stream, I think it will be interesting to discuss them a little bit and kind of prepare what it is I intend to say, so that we don't waste a lot of time sort of stumbling around during the actual part where I'm trying to make a coherent video out of it. So let me see if I can pull up content, videos. Do I have a folder for this already? Learning Guile scheme. Okay, that works. A primer on Guile match expressions. I guess we can say scheme match expressions, but it's not really a standardized thing, so it might not be worthwhile to call it scheme, but whatever. So let's see. Let's just get that out for now. So what do we want to talk about here? So I'm just going to drop out some thoughts, and if you have thoughts or questions that you would like to see covered, feel free to shout them out in the chat. So match expressions are useful for destructuring information. The match expression is not standard in scheme. Let's see, scheme match expression. Pattern matching for scheme. I think this may be the original paper, is it? 95. Could be. Written by Alex Shin and compatible with Andrew K. Wright's pattern matcher found in many scheme implementations. Okay, so by Andrew K. Wright. And I can link to that paper, I think. Trev says match let is pretty cool for destructuring in a let. So let's say examples. Examples of match itself, of match lambda, match let. What else is in there? Yeah, match let. There's a let rec form, match lambda. What's the point of the star version, though? With any number of arguments. Okay, I see. Lambda arg and lambda args. All right, so args is a list. Gotcha. All right, so Okay. That's it, right? Okay. All right, so match lambda, and match let. Yeah, this shouldn't take too long. Just need a couple examples for each that show what you can do with them. So examples for lists, and pairs, vectors, records. What else? All right, so explicit values. Is that how you would say that? Or literal values? Field of an object. So there's a record. And there's like booleans as well. I don't understand the set syntax, but I'm not really going to go into all of it though, because there's too much. This is just a primer. We're going to talk about the most useful aspects of it. So or pattern, if any of pattern 1 through 4 match, let's see, boolean operators. That's probably good enough, right? Like, we don't really need more than that. Cal says, why do people avoid using defines inside of definitions? I don't really know why you would want to avoid using it. Let me think about that for a second. I mean, from just a clarity standpoint, it just looks a little bit dirtier. However, it is done. People do it. I mean, like you will often see, even in the Geeks code base, there will be procedures that are defined with defines used to define nested procedures. So it's not completely unheard of, but I think people typically use let expressions for that. It just depends on how you could say that using defines could be more efficient than using let, depending on how let is implemented. Because if let gets turned into like an immediately executed lambda expression inside of the body of a function, then that could be considered slower, and it might be treated like that. But yeah, let usually, if you're just defining bindings for values, you would want let usually. Cal says, I was thinking about how one would match over values, and I see there is a defined values, several values, would be a list of those values. There's also a let values as well. Trev says, I was trying to figure out if there's a way to parse a string with match nicely. For example, match string to list and then looking for a pattern in the string like a regex or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of doing that in here, split. So I'm splitting the URL string based on slash, and then I'm matching on the list of strings that come back. So you can do that. It's not a... It may not be the best way to do it, but definitely if you want a cheap and easy way to break up a string and then match on the pattern that's in the string, you could do that. But there's probably some other examples of that somewhere. There's... No, okay, that's a different thing. I remembered a library from Chibi that might have been something like this, but I think it was for formatting and not for parsing. Okay. All right, so just quickly, let me see if I can put together some examples. I mean, we may not be able to get through this today. I don't know. Like, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but if I can just get started with some examples of how one would use match. Is there anything in here that would be valuable for that? Yeah, we got like a match for a vector. Is this working? Or was it not working? Maybe Trev, Trev told me that it needs to be matched up with the record definitions, which kind of makes sense. Okay, so let's just quickly throw some stuff together here. So examples. All right, so we're gonna throw in Einstein match here. And then match on 1, 2, 3. So we can say match XYZ, format. Actually, let's not do that. Do a false on that so we can just get the value back. Y. Okay, Y is 2. Cool. Match. So a 1YZ, we can also say that this would be okay, so that's fine. And then match 3, 2, 1. Okay, did not match because we're looking for explicitly 3 as the first item, and we're matching against, I'm sorry, we're looking for 1 as the first item. Let's see, what else? But what if we want to say 3, 2, 1? Oh, I guess list of different links too. So okay, it didn't match because the links are not the same. Let's see, what else? Let's say ABC here. Okay, B is 2. What about if I say D? Yeah, it doesn't match also. Okay. All right. So what else? So what did we say? We said lists in pairs. I could probably turn this into a Boolean also. So like as an example, or I wonder if it works like that, if the bindings will actually be treated correctly. Unbound variable y. Do you need literal values for that? Or it just says patterns. Or maybe y is 2. Possibly unbound variable x. Yeah. That's fine, right? Okay. It's just complaining in case. Yeah, that doesn't match. What about an and here? Okay, so that does work. Okay. So that's a few little examples. Vectors match 1, 2, 3. A, B, C, but it has to have the hash in front. Unbound variable y. That's my mistake. X, Y, Z. Boom. All right, Y is 2. Records or fields. Define record type. Surfy what? I've forgotten. Surfy 9. All right, so we got the little match going on here for person, name, age, hometown. Okay, so that destructures correctly for record types. What if I want to get a specific field? That was equal field pattern, age. Wait, what? Field of an object. What does that mean? Trev says, I'm toying around with Match Lambda now, and it allows you to write some Haskell ML looking code. How so? Yeah, what's the equal sign thing then? I should also do the variable length, list match, and pairs. I have a lot of examples. So equal field pattern. Surfy 204, is this actually confirmed? Withdrawn, okay. Operator pattern. Applies operator a one argument function to what it is matching. A one argument function to what it is matching, and then matches the return value against its pattern. Huh. Applies a predicate to a value. Oh, I see. All right. Gotcha. That's interesting. That's a little bit different. So, person age $50. It's a little bit weird, but sure. No matching pattern. There we go. Not a record of person. I'm not 50 years old. I'm from Mars, by the way. I don't know how interesting that one is. I mean, those are, it would be pretty useful, I think, in certain cases. But, I mean, it is pretty useful, actually. I think that's quite a useful thing. Hello to RJ. RJ says, I found you through Twitch and YouTube and love your videos and your way of teaching. I've just come across your Emacs from Scratch videos from 3 years ago. Are they still, the comment is cut off. I'm guessing you're asking, are they still relevant or valid? Yeah, more or less. I don't really use a lot of those same packages anymore. But yes, as a starting point to learning how to configure Emacs, I think it's still valid. Yeah, it's more or less correct and relevant. You should definitely check it out if you want to get through, or sorry, if you want to build an Emacs configuration from scratch. People don't really use Ivy as much anymore. Ivy and Council, which I show in the videos, people more use like Vertigo and Consult, but it's the same idea. Find foo, match lambda. Okay, I see what you're saying, Trev. Yeah. So there's another thing for that too, which is case lambda. Have you heard of case lambda? There's the Shea scheme stuff. Okay, that's just a grammar. Here we go. Case lambda in the Guile manual. So case lambda lets you create a function that has different signatures. So it all sort of coalesces into one lambda definition. So instead of using match lambda, which could be better because you can do destructuring as part of it, you can use case lambda instead. But maybe match lambda does actually help you to do the thing you're trying to accomplish here, Trev. Okay. Hickory says, so matches like switch but cooler. Oh yeah. Yeah, case lambda is just a simpler version of the same idea. You're not destructuring, but you are creating a lambda that can take different parameter configurations, let's say. All right. So that gets us with so fields and predicates. So one thing we can also do here, match Uh-oh. Okay, I saw YouTube complaining at me that the stream was not sending enough data, so I thought that it was going down for a second, but it seems to be fine. Oh, man. Realize I'm not even recording either. Good thing I wasn't doing anything that needed to be recorded yet. That would have been a disaster. Okay, so here we go. And, question mark person. Oh, and what's the way to pull that? Is there a binding expression for that? I am not 50 years old, no. Close enough, though. The person is... I should probably use different names so people don't get confused. Because I did just say that I was 132 years old and from Mars. So clearly that's not right. All right, the person's 50 years old. So there's also the question mark where you can say the thing after the question mark is a predicate function that gets applied to the value, and then a binding for what comes out of it. In fact, I think we could even do a nested binding here to say, which is completely unnecessary. We would not need to do this. We could also do that. Unbalanced parens. Whoops. Yeah, it's David years old. Okay, yeah, that's because I'm not destructuring it correctly. So name, age. Boom. All right, there it is, 50 years old. But we'll do this a different way so that it doesn't get confusing. I guess the point I was trying to say there is that you can use a predicate to check the value first and then destructure it using a binding assignment. Okay, so that's fields and predicates, literal values we showed, Boolean operator we showed, rectors, vectors. Yeah, we got everything except for variable length lists. So we could say 1, 2, 3, and head dot rest. First item is, and rest is. Okay, first item is 1 and rest is 2, 3. Yes, org, we are live. Okay, so that's how you can do that. There's another pattern for this, which is will match anything, I believe. Whoops. The idea here is that when you say numbers as a binding and you put dot, dot, dot after it, dot, dot, dot is a special symbol which indicates that whatever comes before it is meant to be treated as sort of like a catch-all in a way. I think we can also do a last binding there too. Yeah, so you basically can leave out the last. So numbers dot, dot, dot last, and it will give you back the last item of the sequence. So there's little patterns you can do with that. And yeah, other kinds of patterns. There's also OOO. What is the OOO again? 0, 0 or more. Okay, so did not match. Okay. That's kind of weird. But anyway, variable length lists. Is that enough? It's not Peach today. It's Monster Ultra, the classic. So we got quite a lot of things in here, I think. And all of these same things apply to match lambdas. So any of these lambdas can be turned into a match lambda. Gasoline? No, it's delicious. It's like citrus. I don't know. Mumbers. What's that, Zorg? Okay, there we go. Then a similar example for match let. I guess if we were to do match lambda star, this one allows you to send multiple parameters. So we could do something a little bit different. Now, does it do it on each one, I wonder? Args becomes a list. Okay, yeah, there we go. Gotcha. So in this case, it would be literally the same internal definition. And then the invocation would be slightly different because in this case, we would not send a list. We would just send the parameters directly because the pattern matcher is looking at all the arguments as a unified list. So there we go. So that's the way. Is this video going to be long because I'm showing too many examples? Or can I just blow through these pretty easily? All right, so let's do this as well. I'm going to go into match let. So, so match let. Let me check the syntax for that one because I don't use it quite as much. Okay, so we got a match pattern. All right. Yeah, I don't like how nested the patterns get in these. And how do you do the... Okay, so maybe if I have a catch-all. That's not... Oh, it worked, but that doesn't seem like it should work. No. To insert a template faster, let me show you how I inserted the template just now. If I can get out of this buffer. You go in here, arrow SC, boom. That's faster than that key binding, I think. That's because I have org tempo set up. So match let. Let's try it with 3 here. I want to see what it does. Okay, so it throws an error, no matching pattern. Maybe this needs to be like that. Source expression failed to match any pattern. X, Y. It's analogous to named let. Okay, that's cool. You can use it for recursive functions. But what about patterns that don't match? What happens with the bindings then? Unless the assumption is that you never have a bad match. A little bit strange. Maybe actually I've got this no matching pattern for 323. It's supposed to be a catch-all, but maybe catch-all bindings don't work in this case. Oh, that's because I'm an idiot. Yeah, I think this one is strictly for cases where you have specific values that can be matched. I think it's just for destructuring, like destructuring binds in a let expression. So I don't know that you would want to use other types of things. Like you could use ors, like booleans maybe. The match let star, you could say AB out of Y. Okay, that's B is 2. However, I'm pretty sure you could do nested destructuring. So X, A, B. Yeah, you can do nested destructuring as well. So I should probably mention that as in one of the earlier examples. So that means that even inside a list of items, you could destructure a record type. I'm quite sure. Okay, we spent about an hour on that. Maybe that's enough. Maybe since we've made some progress here on the examples, maybe I'll record this next time on Monday. And the reason why I say that is that I'll let it bake a little bit and kind of clean it up so that maybe I can record the video on Monday in the stream just to really quickly get it done. And then I'll post it early next week instead of posting 2 videos today. All right, let me take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back and we'll get started with some of the live coding for today's session. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Cal says, can we add more examples later after recording as a sort of general Ice9 match cookbook? That's not a bad idea, actually. I would certainly be open to people contributing other possible examples, which might be a good idea. Let's see. Because it could be a nice little page where somebody could go and take a look. They'll see the video, but they'll also see all the examples here. So I would certainly be open to that. Contribute your own examples by submitting a pull request to the repository on Codeberg. So I'll add that too in the video. That'd be great. Good idea, Cal. Thanks. I appreciate that. Okay. So let's get on to the actual real goal of today, which is to start putting together a web interface for emacspackages.com to use the information that we've stored in the database. So first, I also do want to go take a look at the PR that Trev sent. Or was it a PR? Okay, Trev, where is the thing that you did? Did you fork the repo and then you just did it in a fork? Let's see, Trev's got a fork. Is there a branch? Fix package archive fixes. Gotcha. Okay, just on your fork. Fix pulling in from ELPA and non-GNU ELPA. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, definitely I screwed up the destructuring of the match. Let's see, what else? Parse authors. We're doing a match lambda. We got a procedure there. Map parse authors over authors. Map parse authors over maintainers. Cool, we just cleaned up the code a little bit. That's nice. Oh, and keywords. If there are keywords, string join keywords. Gotcha. So keywords may not be there. Remove nil author IDs. Where did we see that? Remove nil author IDs. Oh, there may be nil. Let's see, we're matching. Let's see. Why would there be? Oof, what happened here? Parse authors. Wow, okay, I see now. So match authors. If it's a list, then map over each. Nice. They actually have not available as a string in some of these. String. Okay, so we're using a little bit of backquoting here to generate things. Match lambda. What a mess. List of one string. I don't know why they even have that in there. Why did they allow something like that to be inserted? I don't even know how that list is maintained. Secref parse authors, Secref properties authors. Okay, so you got parse authors here. That's only being used inside of package archive.scm. Nil.email. They literally have a nil in there. A nil paired with the email address. I guess they're trying to be somewhat consistent. That's terrible. But I guess it makes sense that it could be like that. Yes, if name or email. Yeah, I guess name would be the way to go in that case. Reloading and working through the edge cases. Yeah, that's basically all you can do. And Secref properties. Okay, you're parsing the author as it comes through off the... Match authors. Okay. So let me, can I just pull request this? Can I create a pull request on your behalf? Or maybe I'll just add your repo as a remote and pull the commit in because it's good. So let me do that. Ugh. I'm gonna have to use Magic for this. Yeah, if you can send a PR real quick, Trev, then I'll pull it in. I'm very happy to receive PRs on the project for anybody who's watching and wants to help out because, yes, part of it is for me to write a lot of this stuff, but I also think it's cool if the community wants to contribute because, I mean, in the end, the community should contribute to the project if it's published and a running thing. Okay, no external packages. Let's keep the faith here. No external packages. But yes, the idea being that this is not just me wanting to do the whole thing myself, okay? If people want to help, they should help. Huge contributions. Let's keep that at a minimum for now, but at least like bug fixes and improvements before the next stream, I'm perfectly happy to review and merge so that we can kind of, you know, have some other people take part in the development because it's fun, right? Let's go back and just wait for the PR to come in. There it is already. Wow, that was so fast. All right, rebase, then fast forward. Boom. So that's good. Thank you, Trev. Let me pull the latest changes then. Plus sign. Done. All right, so let's go back into ELPA, or no, package archive. There we go. So down here in Trev's function for, hold on, revert buffer. Yeah, it's in here now. Clean it up. Do a little bit of cleanup. Let's see. We could probably just do this as a match lambda itself. But are you using authors in the bindings? No, not really. Have it on my desk by tomorrow. Okay, buddy. All right, so list, map, match lambda. We're mapping over the list. Yeah. And that's fine. Are we calling this recursively? No. But we're returning the list of authors, which is good. Yes, if name or email. If it's just a string, okay, string name. Okay. And then authors, yeah, didn't match anything else. Should we throw an error? I would say no for now. Let's just ignore it. Speaker says, hopefully I can take part in this. I don't want to spend my day off or nighttime for just Elden Ring. Yes, Elden Ring is a full-time job in itself. That's for sure. I didn't really make it very far in that game because I realized how much time it was going to take for me. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's fun. But I don't have time for that. Okay, so we got parse authors here. Parse authors. We'll take that line out right there. And then we'll go back into main. And we've got the fix here. Let me just revert buffer on that. And I think the reason why this is the case where you actually have to specify all of the fields is that it's not actually calling into the accessor procedures for all of these fields. I think it's probably just destructuring the underlying vector that represents the record instance in order of the fields that are part of the record. use cheats like a normal person. That's the whole point of Souls games, is to not cheat and to get good, right? You're supposed to get good at playing the game so you can beat it without cheats. Because otherwise, what's the point? I mean, cool. Yeah, it's cool, like RPG, weird world and everything, but I don't know. It just seems like it defeats the purpose a little bit. All right. So let's see if Trev successfully made it possible for us to pull in all the package data now. So I'm just going to run this again from scratch. What's happening in ANSI term here? There we go. No. Control R, Geeks shell. There it is, right there. Okay, it didn't do that. All right, I need to have a little script for refreshing the database or something. Because if we're gonna be doing this often, let me think of how I want to do this. Let's just write this down a little bit. Maybe in the README. I gotta fix my completions. Okay, so design, conceptual model. Trev says, I had a feeling that it was skipping some packages or links between authors and packages, but didn't verify. Yeah, we might need to find a way to validate at some point that is doing the right thing. That we're not missing anything, let's say. So, syncing package information. At first, we need a quick and easy way to populate the package database by reading the package archives for the various repositories. Perhaps a script. Cal says, I just want to wear a flowery Hawaiian shirt, short shorts, and tour these worlds with a camera, not a warhammer. I think you could turn the difficulty down, can't you? I'm not sure. Perhaps a script that makes it easier to roll the DB. So maybe what we need is a script we can run to resync the database. Let's see, scripts, sync repositories, or sync archives. So instead of running the main program, we probably should never do a sync on startup. So what we would first do is remove Emacs packages.db. I don't really like the name of that file. I might change it, but at least at first. We'll get rid of this Emacs packages.db file. And what we can do is run Guile. Let me pull up ANSI term. Guile help. There must be a way to evaluate an expression at the command line. I mean, I suppose this could be a scheme script as well, but whatever. Fresh autocompile. And apply function to command line arguments. Apply function to command line arguments. Load source code from file. Yeah, this already seems like I should probably just make this a scheme script. So Guile shell script. Guile shell scripting. Top of the script file will give me the shebang line. Not user local bin guile. What did I say in content, courses, guile beginners, chapter, I think 4, script, shell, was it chapter 3? No, must be chapter 4. I swear. You didn't need to listen when running guile from Geek Shell. I was using this so I can connect the REPL. Yeah, you would definitely do that if you're trying to hit a shell. Sorry, a REPL. Let's just get those out for now. So I'm gonna kill that buffer. Get out of here. I swear, man, like this prompt gets so screwed up. So ls scripts. All right, move scripts. Wow, everything's screwed. Okay, so cd scripts, move sync archives that scheme. I guess I could just make that a, yeah, let's just leave it as it is. Chmod x. And then if I go back into that file, then they have a main procedure, e main. Sure, why not? And we need to use modules -s-l source, use modules, site util package archives, I think, right? Package archive. Let me go to main.scm and just pull that whole thing out that we were doing before to initialize the database. Maybe we need a DB module as well. That might actually be worthwhile. But we can sort of just copy this for now. We don't need to check anymore. All right, so there we go. Fetching elpa package repositories, create package tables. When a file exists, yeah, this is gross. Let's just get through it and we'll see what we see. Okay, so delete the existing file. I don't know, a little bit risky in the future because we're gonna have real data in here. We don't necessarily want to just like completely delete it. Turning a guile script into an executable is such a pain in the ass, says Cal. It's not that bad. I mean, it's hard to remember the way to actually invoke it correctly, but yeah, I see what you're saying. So package archive, and then site models package. I think that's what I called it. So source site models package. All right, so we got those two done. Fetch the package listing. No matching parentheses found. That's probably fine though. And we have to run this in Geek Shell, but that's okay. I don't really have a problem with that. So Geek Shell m manifest.sem scripts. I mean, I guess I don't even really need to make it. Oh, okay, let's go with this. Scripts sync. Damn it. Sync archives.sem. Okay, no such file directory manifest. Let me go down one level. No such file or directory. Use -vs to pass options in shebang lines. So I think this is needed. Unbound variable db. Excellent. Possibly unbound variable db, match lambda. Cool, so we're missing some stuff in here, which is fine. Description, maintainers, keywords. All right, that's because we're not using match. So ICE9 match. Let's just clean some things up a little bit to make me feel better, right? I don't like having a weirdly shaped use modules line. Also, we need to load up the DB. So let DB, and then we're going to go into main again. We're going to use this SQLite open expression. Which obviously means we need to pull in the SQLite module. Now I'm really feeling like we need to have a separate DB module to abstract this away. Do that in a minute. So let's go down and run it again. Unexpected. Okay. All right, because I didn't close off the let correctly. Go down in here and close that out. Go up to this line. Control Alt Q. Did it get reformatted? Yep. All right. So now let's go back in the shell. Fetching ELPA repositories. Seems to be working. Let's let it do its job there for a second. So at least we can just run this now. Says the fetch is complete, which is cool. All right. Let's take a look at the file then. Okay, it's about 135, what was it? No, 13K? No, 135K, thereabouts, something like that. Good. So now we should be able to load the site. Melpa takes a long time. Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet because I know it will take a long time. It's got way too much stuff in there. And that's a good reason to do this on demand when needed. So in main, I can go ahead and take that code out. Let's get that cleaned up a little bit. So we don't need that anymore. We do need to initialize the database. SQLite open. Don't need file exists. Okay, so we got that. All right. So back here, maybe I can do a similar thing for launching the site as well. I mean, this is main.sem, but maybe this needs to be moved into a module that can be pulled in and started on demand. Just to clean up the code a little bit, make it possible to run the site. Because it was kind of nice what I just did with Sync Archives. I was able to bake in some of the logic. So let's do this as well. And then an ANSI term, we can chmod x scripts start server.sem. We need a DevOps guy. I am the DevOps guy, Trev. Site server, is that good enough as a name? Kind of lame, maybe. You're hired. Cal sees the upside down pentagram. That's just me joking around, okay? Yes, we're having the cult symbolism here. I'm just joking around. I should probably remove that so people don't get confused. All right. Okay, let's see. Render page. Some of this stuff does need to be broken into modules. So let's see. You got the handler, the server. I mean, some of this, we'll just put it all together into a module. And this main.sem file can just go away, I think. So site/server.sem. And then we can define start server. And drop that there. Ashra says, I joined the stream. The first thing I hear is symbolism. No, it's not symbolism. This is going to be hell. Let me just tell you. I need to get better at Emacs keyboard macros. Obviously. Because this would be a macro. Just pasting and cleaning up the line. Use rectangle. Can I do rectangle insert? So control X, control space. Whoops. What's that? Control. Can I just paste like that? No. Control X, R. And what's that supposed to do? Oh, control X, R, control Y? No. Anyway. I don't have which key? No, I don't have which key. Of course I don't have which key. Why would I? It's not like I need to know which key does what. Here we go. I am my own Emacs keyboard macro at the moment. Okay. Oh, select the region first? Okay. I'm curious. Let's try that. Control X space. Nope. Control X space. Control X R. Control Y. Still not doing what I thought. See, Ashras. Okay. Let's move this down here. REPL server, yeah, we're not doing that at the moment. Okay, packages details. Some of this stuff needs to go into maybe like templates, I would say. Like sort of the model view controller type deal. And we might move that stuff around at some point soon too. But let's do an export on this. We need to export start server. And that should be good enough. And then back in the start server.scm file, site server, start server. I could probably parameterize this as well, like set a port and stuff, but I'm not really gonna bother with that right now. So if I go back into ANSI term, I should be able to do the same thing here. Start server.scm. Let's see, imported module fibers. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And listing on localhost 8080, localhost 8080. And then the package listing, there we go. I think we're good. And unbound variable package version. Okay. So that is in server again, package version. Right, so we don't actually have package version information anymore because that's on a different part of the data model. So package version. So I can go and just restart that. There we go. Details for org transclusion, and we got the description. So we're good. We synchronized the information. Now we've kind of moved some stuff into some scripts that we can run to sync the database and start the server, which is good. Next, let's actually break some stuff off into other modules. So some of these things like package detail, let's see. Site views index.scm. We'll do that for now. Define module, site views index. And then we'll pull the index, define index, pull this in here. What else? I mean, index is a pretty terrible name. So I'm gonna call it index view. Or render index, I don't know. What would be a good naming convention for these procedures? Is SXML simple? Yeah. So in this page, sorry, in this file, all we really need, we have a render page procedure too. So we need probably a util for rendering the page. So util render page. Actually, we don't need the SXML stuff in here if we do that. Whoops, all right. Just cleaning it up a little bit. It was Control X RT and then paste in the string. Okay, that's cool. Or util template. Maybe template's better. I don't know. Templates. Who knows? So we got render page. We're gonna go back to index. Sorry, not index. Server, start server, server. Render page. We're gonna grab this and then drop it into template. It's always gonna be a fun thing to break things into modules, because then you end up with problems of, you know, things not being imported correctly. So SXML page, export render page. Okay. So index view, so we're gonna need to pull in instead site util templates. Is that right? I need to make sure that I am consistent also with pluralization of module names, and everything has not been plural. I don't know, it doesn't feel completely right, but whatever. So we're gonna go into the, well, let's do it this way. Let's just do it the dear Ed way, not be stupid. All right, so site util. I need input. Tell me if I should be pluralizing or not. So template.scm. All right. So that's template.scm and site util template. We're using render page here. That all looks good. And then back in server, the pages stuff can also go into a package module. So define module site views package. Is that right? Is that where we're at? Yeah, site views. Cool. And then use module site util template. And we probably also need to use module site models package. There we go. And all of this so far looks like it doesn't need anything else. So let's see. Back into server. We got handler, which is good. We don't really need much more. And start server, okay? Then I kind of want to get a DB module going too. Ice Cold Witch says the Geek's Goat. Holy, okay. Yes, I am the Geek's Goat. Yeah, I'm not gonna bad. Okay, I guess I just did it, didn't I? All right, so let's go. So index view, we got that. Let's try to run it. I think I'm gonna be missing a couple things. Belinda says, why plurals if it's a single site? Well, not sites. I'm talking more about the last word in the whole list. Sorry, in the module name list. So like site util template versus templates. Trev says goats do more of a meh. Okay, whatever. Maybe I'm thinking of sheep. I'm no expert, okay? I'm no expert when it comes to animal sounds. I have people who like to criticize me for the way that I do animal sounds. That's fine. So, start server, start server, server, start server. I think everything's good here. We don't need some of this stuff anymore. Are we using match in here anymore? I don't think so. But I probably need to put match in some other places. So we got match, all right, that's fine. We got fibers, site models package, which we don't need. But we do need the view functions for site views. Is that right? Views, package. Also, use module, I guess site view. It would probably be view, wouldn't it? I don't know. Like I'm still baking what I'm thinking about this. Index. We don't need package archive anymore. And this one should be good. All right, so we just need to double check the others really quickly. Site util template. We're exporting index view. I probably need to do some exports in the package view module as well. So we have which ones? We have packages index view. And packages detail view. I don't know if I really like that naming terminology, but whatever. We'll stick with it for now. We'll change it later if we have to. Okay, got that. And what other files did I create this time? Views, util, template, render page is being exported. So things are looking all right. We're gonna try to run it now and see if it completely crashes and burns, which probably will. All right, so we've got some unbound variables, which are concerning. Compiling views, package.scm, package.scm. Oh, all the DB stuff. Yeah, great. So DB, I think we need to be passing in the database connection to the view. But there needs to be some kind of context. And the context object probably needs to be extendable or extensible so that things can be added to it over time when necessary. So I don't want to be passing DB through all this stuff. It's kind of, yeah. Okay. Probably not the best place for this, but whatever. Define module site context. I'm shaking my head because it's not a great idea, but it's what we're going to go with for now. We need to import Surfy9 for record types. Define record type context. I don't want it to be site context because if I make it site context, it's going to just be too long. Make context DB request. Because you don't need request most of the time. So maybe it doesn't need to be a parameter. Why is body there? Oh, okay. All right, so DB and request, context. So DB, context DB, request, context request. Kind of a view context, isn't it? In a way. We'll have to do some more refactoring, renaming things at some point later. So we got context type here. We can make the context. So we're going to export this with make context, context, CTX, like in the JavaScript Canvas tutorial they got on Mozilla. Yeah, I mean, CTX is shorter for sure. When I pass it into procedures, the variable will be named CTX. The binding will be CTX. All right, so now that we got context, we can go back into the server, and we're going to have to make a context object for every request. So URI handler CTX make context DB and request. And then when we call the handler, instead of putting in request, we're going to put in the CTX. Okay, so handler CTX body. We're going to have our own signature for request handlers. So then that means in index, we need to go there. Is request being used anywhere? No. So we can just put CTX here. And we don't have to import any modules because we're not using any information. For package, on the other hand, we have to use module site context. And I'm going to put that right up here just to appease my sense of aesthetics. And then anywhere we say DB in here, we need to say context DB CTX. And then here also context DB CTX. All right. So list packages, and this is now going to be CTX, and then request lambda request body packages detail view. Oh, right. Here it is. That looks fine. Everything good with DB, context DB, context DB, boom, boom, boom. All right. technically things like list packages could take a context, but the reason why I don't do that is because context has extra stuff that's not needed by procedures like list packages. List packages only really cares about talking to a database. There's no reason to pass that sort of abstraction down into a lower layer of the internal sort of APIs, let's say. So we're good, right? I think, should I be able to run this again? Let's try it again. All right, so we got some other errors here. We're in context.scm. We compiled that. Package.scm has still got problems. Let's go to package.scm. Is that in views? Okay. Package. Yeah, we're still here. Match lambda. Okay, so we need match. ICE9 match. That's probably going to clear up a lot of it. ICE9 match. Okay, so that's erroring out. That's fine. Handler request method. Are we calling handler wrong somewhere? Server.scm. Match URI if handler CTX body. This is line 59. We're calling packages detail ID. Packages detail. Oh, right. And then also the index function. Index view. Whoops. Also an error. 61. Handler. Okay, that is the... Is that the right thing? Make context. Continuable. Unbound variable make context. Fine. There we go. And I think it's gonna be okay now. That one's not okay. Build response. What the hell was that? Oh, build response. Okay, that is actually coming from web response. Probably the same for the others too, right? Not found. Okay, it's because I left this slash on. Okay, I probably need to handle that case a little bit more cleanly. That's working. Package listing is working again, and this is also working. Okay, cool. So we've successfully split things up. I probably should put that in the dev log so that I remember. Crafter hours. So let's see. Integrated Trev's fixes for syncing package archives. Split out database population into a scheme script. Sync archives. Split out server startup to a script start server. Split server handling into the site server module. Split current view templating into site views star modules. And what else did we just do? Server handling, current view templating. That's pretty much it, right? For now. Yeah. Now we should probably start using some information. So we got the database populated. We can start putting more stuff in there and then try to pretty it up a little bit. I need to record a summary video. Maybe I could do it in the last 5 minutes of the stream. I don't know exactly how much I need to cover in a summary video to sort of say what we've done, but we'll see. We'll see. I do kind of feel like we need to have a DB module though. Let's see. Use modules SQLite 3. Define DB open. And we want an optional parameter for a file name potentially. Right. Or keys. Yeah, maybe a keyword parameter is better for that. So keyword. And then we're going to put the scheme, sorry, the SQLite open expression in here. There's something else I'm going to do in just a moment. So what I'm going to do here is an OR. And I'll use getEnv. Hey, Rob. We'll be able to override it with a environment variable, which means that it would also be overridable inside of the sync archive script. So in this case, cite DB, and instead of saying DB file name, Yeah, this is an internal excuse me. This is an internal procedure. I don't need to do anything fancy with that. We'll just assume that the file name parameter can be false. So we'll just do this little logic, since we need to reuse that. And then close that off. Delete file name. Okay. Got a couple of procedures we can export here. So export db open, db delete. All right. And we don't really need to export the db file name. We want to kind of hide that behavior. So now in sync archives, we can just use db open without any extra stuff. Yeah. Maybe I need to put flags in also as a way to make it possible to change the flags, but for now, we're not going to worry about that too much. Which one, Cal? I'll go check. So we don't really need SQLite 3 here, do we? We can just get that out and just use citedb. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I can run it again just to make sure entirely. DB open. Check parens. Unmatched bracket. Yes, thank you. You got it. You got it. 100 points for Cal. All right, so we got that site DB file name. Okay. Now in server, this is just going to be a plain old DB open. And we need to pull in site DB, use module site DB. Now we're getting all the SQLite 3 related stuff out of here. So that's part of the benefit of this is that that DB module can help abstract away some of this stuff so we don't have to be tied to a particular database engine long term. So we can also put in crafter hours, established basic site DB module to abstract database handling. So now sync archives pulls in site DB, just uses DB open. We probably also want to DB delete. Okay. To do only do this with a force or delete parameter. But we'll do that later. So back in ANSI term, we can kill the server and we can run the synchronization script again. All right, so define module unknown keyword. Okay, got it. Use modules. My mistake. Unbound variable DB delete, and that is in DB delete. Oh, I did not put a star on that. Unknown location lambda invalid argument. Is it key and not keys? Maybe is that what's happening? There it is. Stat wrong type and argument position 1 expecting open file port, but it's false instead. And that's for delete name. Name is DB file name. DB file name or file name, which is false. Oh. Emacs packages.db. We need to have a default name. There we go. There we go. It's moving now. Done. So now we should be able to also start the website and have it be working. We're going to find out pretty fast though. There we go. So it looks like that is still working. What's package number 4? 42, whatever, fine. Buffer exposed, cool. So we've got a DB abstraction. Let's think about this for a second then. Part of the idea is that we're trying to display the information we have available to us. So let's just start with that. So in package views, packages detail view. First of all, we could have a table here in the package listing. So let's take a look at the package listing page one more time. Crash. Unbound variable package index, and that is at views package.scm. The hell? What did I do here? Doesn't seem right, does it? Is it index 2? Yeah. Let packages list packages. And then we're mapping over the packages list to generate the templates for everything. There we go. Okay. Got it. Oh, hey, Steve. Nice to see you. So, we can do a little table action here. HTML table, because I've forgotten how to make tables. Not entirely, but, you know, enough that I need to go look it up. There we go, table. So inside of packages, we want to have a table. And for each one of these, we're going to have a row. I guess we can start with the heading first. So TR, TH, name, TH. What else do we want to show? Authors. TH description. Let's go with that just for now, okay? Maybe that's enough to start with. And this can also be a TR. And then a package ID, package name. Yeah, so this would be a TD for the name. And a TD for the author listing, which we're going to have to grab. Excuse me. So let's just leave that as authors for now. And then TD and the description text, package description. Unexpected end of input. Trev says, soon we will make our first join. Yeah, we're going to have to. What did I miss? I didn't close off the table. So we got the map, which is ending here. And then we need to end the table as well. Okay, that goes to the defines. That should be enough. Oops, let's go right here. All right, good. We have a table. Description is not giving me the right stuff, though. I think it's because I need a backquote. Or sorry, I need to splice that. Or unquote. Unquote. There we go. Name, author's description. Cool, we got a lot of stuff in here. Let's try to grab our author's information. So to do that, we're going to have to go back to our models. And we're going to have to do a little join action on this. Because we're not opportunistically loading the author information because we don't really need it at that moment. So we're gonna have to create a package authors procedure. For each one of them, huh? I guess that's the question. Trez says, this site is awesome. Is it using React? Yes, of course it's using React. Don't you see it? Should we do the join whenever we list the packages? It kind of begs a question about whether the view should construct its own query to get all the information that it needs and not try to like push it through some model abstraction. Yeah, DB view, we might need to, at least for a package listing view, because we need a way to get the information we need all together at once without having to go and loop over every single package and query again, because that makes no sense. We need to join at the time of querying for the package listing. So currently we have list packages, select star from packages, which will give us a list of packages with a procedure. I suppose we could specialize list packages to do a custom query, because right now it's just a proc, and the proc does whatever it needs to, which is kind of stupid because this, if you allow query customization and you have a handler procedure, then maybe you just need a simpler query procedure that is exposed by the database package. So maybe I could just do that. Maybe I can go into the DB package, define a DB select query proc. I also need DB. I mean, you could say DB query too, but we kind of need a bit more than that for more complicated queries, for like binds for parameters. So let's just go with this for now. DB query, SQLite map proc statement, finalize result. All right, so that's DB select. And then back in here, list packages would just be DB query, DB select star from packages, and then proc. So yeah, maybe we can kind of gradually build up some kind of abstraction just to do things in a very simple way. So to start from packages, but we kind of need to do a join also. But I think, honestly, how about this? Let's do this. Now, what is the view doing? List packages. Match lambda. Ooh. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Why don't we pass in proc? Because proc is what is being used in the SQLite library to do something with each row that comes back from the query result. So it's like it's being passed down ultimately to SQLite map. So it's just mapping over the rows to do something with each row. Yeah. So list packages. And I'm kind of hand waving over the making of the package here because there's supposed to be authors and maintainers here that's being passed in. What I kind of want is a list packages with authors procedure that does the join and returns back the package details. So maybe what I can do here, I know it's a little bit dirty to do that, but whatever. Then back in package.scm. Whoa. Yank from kill ring, that one. There we go. Okay, so same thing here. Select from packages. Now, help me with the join. To go back to what our schema looks like, create table. So we have packages as a table. Then we have package authors, which is a relation table that maps package ID to author ID. And then we need to join through that to the package author table, all right? So we're going packages to package authors to package author. All right, so SQLite join. Visual explanation of SQLite joins. So album ID to artist ID. I see. All right, so artists to albums. We will use the artists and albums tables from the sample database. Okay, select title name from albums, inner join albums on artists. Select from, okay, so it depends on which one we're selecting from, right? So left join is the opposite direction. So we're selecting from artists. Left join albums on artists. So that's kind of what we're doing, right? Left join causes selects data starting from the left table artists and matching rows on the right table based on the join condition. Where title is null. If you want to find artists who don't have any albums, you can add a where clause. What is the using syntax for the join condition? Okay, is that like a simplification? Cross join, Cartesian product of rows from the joined tables. Doesn't have a join condition. Combines every row from the first table to every row from the second table to form the result set. This is just like matching them up. Okay. What if you want to join through multiple tables? Because that's kind of what I'm trying to do, right? SQLite join through a relation table. How do you join tables? No. Joining multiple tables with single join clause. -3. So you can do multiple joins. Okay, so select star from table 1, join table 2 on T2 ID. All right, cool. Trev says it's going to be yucky since we have multiple authors. We'll have to concat them together for the final column. Yeah, we're going to have to do some post-processing, I think, which is not ideal. And it becomes even more interesting when you consider like paging through the data set. Because we're probably going to need paging at some point. Unless we just do searches is the only way to get package information. Or just don't display the authors until you load the page. I mean, maybe that's a better thing. Is it better to not try to do that join on the full the full package listing? Maybe what we should do. Yeah, there's a few different things that are not so ideal about that, I guess. Let's go look at the page again. So authors would be nice, but I think maybe it's just name and description. What other information do we have on the package model that would be useful? Keywords. Okay. Since keywords are not actually in the database just yet, but they will be eventually, we're gonna end up with the same problem, I think. So we could have keywords. Does it even give us keywords currently? I can change the view to show keywords instead. But even in this case, keywords probably aren't that useful. Oh, I think I screwed something up in DB. No, not here. DB query. That's going to be in this one. DB query. Nope, it's going to be in the package models. DB query. Unbound variable DB select. DB select. DB select. Okay, that's there. Package has a missing parenthesis somewhere. Probably that. Okay. And then we're crashing. List packages with authors. That's going to be here with authors. Let's just say list packages. Another crash. Wrong number of arguments to procedure list packages. List packages does what now? DB proc. We did not pass the... Oh, we don't need a proc anymore because we're already doing something with it. So list packages, not the best. What was the thing it said? Models package. We're not pulling in the DB module. That explains that. And package keywords is probably not being exported. What else? Wrong type to apply. Syntax key, transformer package keywords. Package keywords. There we go. There is a package keywords. This is in package.scm line 27. In views package.scm line 27. Package keywords. Models package. Something else is wrong. We're mapping. We keep seeing this. Oh, wow. That was bad. The expression was terminated in the wrong location. Okay, here we go. So we got some keywords that are showing up now at least. Not all of them have some. That's okay. Doesn't really matter. Is it useful? I don't know. Maybe not. So let me think really quick about how to proceed, because we're kind of like running out of time here and I need to do something else. I mean, we got some stuff done. I don't feel like we didn't get any work done. We did clean some code up. We are using some of the information that we pulled in, but we didn't really accomplish the goal that was set out at the beginning, which is to get the UI setup, but you know, sometimes you take some different pathways than what you had planned. Not such a bad thing. All right, look, give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back, and we'll try to get this thing finished out and get a summary recorded. So I'll be right back. Okay. So if I were to do something, what could I do? I don't hear anything anymore. I wonder if my headphones went dead again. Is music still playing, or is it just me? So let's see. Next would be to try to like improve the look of the page slightly. The easiest thing to do would be to steal the CSS file from the System Crafter's website, but I kind of don't want to do that. So maybe we could just start with a simple CSS file. In fact, we could try to use the CSS generation code that we never checked in, that we worked on a different stream, on a Friday stream a couple weeks ago, just to see how that fares. Thanks, Steve, for letting me know. Good. Glad to hear it. All right, so I don't know if it's working well enough, but maybe we can do enough to make some progress. We got this module here. And in fact, I probably should put it under util now that we have a better structure for everything. So I'm going to move that file to site util. No. Capability says, Snob says, static file is usually a good option. It is a good option. We're going to do that, but for right now, we are going to take a slightly different approach just for the sake of speed. I'm just going to generate it once at the beginning of the site. So watch this. I'll go into server.sem and use module. Site util CSS, and then sorry, having thoughts at the same time. We're going to have a handler for assets site.css, and let's see, what would be the best way to do this? Guile memoize. No, we don't need an iterative lazy algorithm. Yeah, we can kind of do that. But let's not do that. Let's just be simple, okay? So render CS is our handler. Just going to be real simple about this. Okay, then we're gonna just pull in our CSS library. What do you call that? SCSS to CSS? Is that what we said in the CSS library? SCSS. Okay, got it. Define module. Site util CSS, and then use module. Got it. And then we're going to export that procedure. And we're going to just steal this stuff, I think. We're just going to steal this out. Probably stupid to do this right now, though. Because I can't even put in media queries, and we're going to need that. Trev says, I got a join query for you. Maybe file it as an issue on the repo so that we can look at it next time. Because I think I'm just going to try to scoot on past that. Like, we're right at the end anyway. I probably shouldn't even be doing what I'm doing right now. Maybe what we have is good enough for the stream, but we'll just get a basic CSS page up. Sorry, style sheet up, and then we'll see how we can go from there. So, switch to buffer server, I think, and I can paste most of that in. Actually, let's do this. Current output port. Do I have that writing to a port? Is that what I did? Yeah, optional port without output to port or current output port. Okay. Kind of gross. Let's do this. Let's do this the other way. Unless there we go. This is awful, but that's okay. That should work. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what it does. It's something for now just to get it started, and then we'll work from there. It does have some style set, so maybe that's enough. So render CSS will... Wait, hold on. Did I do that right? Context body, cache CSS. It needs to return the correct output. So it needs to be like a value style output. If I go to package.scm values. And the content type is, let's see, CSS content type. Text CSS, is that what it is? Got it. Let's go back over to the server. Sorry, the console. Possibly unbound variable cached CSS. Okay, I didn't actually store a binding for that. Whoa. Okay, and then over here on package listing. All right, so what we haven't done yet is import the CSS file. So I never remember how to pull them in, so sue me. External CSS, all right, is in the head. So if I go to template, in the head, I can drop in a link rel like that. Is it actually writing it out correctly? Link rel, style sheet, ref, assets. Okay. I don't think it's doing that correctly. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Wrong type to apply unspecified. So the request is coming through, it seems. It's just failing. Render CSS, line 47, server, render CSS, line 47 with output to string. Oh, I need to do a thunk on that. Okay, I did see the font change. If we click the link to go through to site.css, or let's just see if we can do that. It does give us the output. Background color is not being loaded on body, which is a little bit weird. I don't know why. Need to take a look at this real quick. Oh, do I need to have the, maybe I need to have the path be absolute. And template.scm, let's put this as an absolute path. I think that's the biggest issue. Where is the page? Right here. Still not working. Oops. Font size 16 pixels, margin, font family, color, and background color. Those are not being respected, which makes no sense. It's an H1. Oh, why is this complaining? Invalid property value? Why? Is color wrong? So is it supposed to be foreground? Ooh. Is it because they're quoted? Yeah, they're quoted. They shouldn't be quoted at all. My mistake. And then what's wrong with this one? It needs to have a valid property. Oh, line Nate. Line height. There we go. So I think in the CSS output, we were trying to write things out as strings, and maybe they should not be strings. Could you increase the face size? Are you talking about in the Emacs? Write attributes. Display. Symbol to string. Right value. Well, I guess all of them need to be displayed in that case then. If symbol is value display. Let's just try that. There we go. That's better. And in the CSS, let's see, does it complain about anything else? Can't read the CSS, okay. Cool, that's right. And the CSS file, assets, site.css looks correct. Okay, so we've at least got that working to some degree. It's terrible, looks terrible. That's okay. I'm not that worried about it. It's just, you know, the main thing is that the CSS file is being loaded. So that's enough for today. Let me go back to the Crafter Hours log. What else did we do? We integrated existing SCSS to CSS code to generate a style sheet for all pages. Let's say cached style sheet. And we can go ahead and delete the agenda here because we've basically done this stuff. Well, some of it anyway. So we fixed the issue with the output data import. Trev did that. Load all information to be displayed on the website. We kind of need to do that. So next time, figure out join queries for loading authors and maintainers. Flesh out CSS for all page views, or for all pages, let's say. Make it possible to look at author details, question mark, which packages they wrote. All right, let's put it another way. Okay. And what else? At some point, we're going to start doing something in the site, but for now, we'll just show our information that we get. Okay. So what I like to do next, just to close out the stream, is just to record a little summary of what we've done so far. In fact, let me commit the code we've done before I do that. So all the stuff that we wrote today, we need to put into a commit. So I'm going to add these files. So you need to stage them, basically. All the new files that we created, you need to stage those. All these files. And then I need to mark all of them. And then equal sign to pull up the diff for everything. Just check it out a little bit, make sure everything's good. Okay, I think that's everything. We got all the new files, right? Like this is a new file, I think, the views file. Okay. So Control X VV to create a commit. I think we got all the new stuff in there. So modularize existing code, add DB abstraction, add CSS rendering. Yes, raw VC, that's something I've been using a lot more recently. Now everything's checked in. We're good to go on that. I'm going to go ahead and push it to the repo. Now it should be up there. The repo's on Codeberg. You can take a look at that. I'm looking at a commit and not the main. That's the reason why that's doing that. Okay, so we got this commit right here. I'm going to go to the browse source, and then that way I can copy and paste a little bit into the notes. All right, so the project code is going to be this link. And then the stream recording, let's see, let's go to YouTube. Do a little recursive streaming here. Come on. I think that's the right one. Is that it? LP, yep. Okay. So Control X NS. Let's just focus on this one now. So here's another little status update on the project that we've been working on our Craft Hour streams that we do every Monday and Wednesday on this channel. We're working on a website called emacsPackages.com, which as of right now has not actually been published, but will be sometime soon, which is intended to index all of the available Emacs packages that are listed on package archives like ELPA, non-GNU ELPA, MELPA, etc., and possibly other locations. So that you can go to one location, one website to learn about all of the available Emacs packages and get useful information like tips from other users about how to use those packages, which packages are more commonly used together, listings of who wrote what packages, etc. There's all kinds of things we could do with it. It's just kind of a fun project that we've been working on and a really good way to use Guile's scheme to write a real-world web application. So this past week, we've worked on a number of things. In fact, I think I probably need to talk about a few of the other days as well, because I think the last summary video ended right before the Wednesday stream. So yeah, so what we've been doing in the last week is mainly being focused on synchronizing information from the existing package archives. As I mentioned before, we were currently able to take all the package information from GNU ELPA and non-GNU ELPA and load them into a SQLite database that we created schemas for so that we can then use it to display on our own website that we've been working on. The format for these package archive sites is fairly standard. It can be a little bit messy, but it's fairly standard. So if we were to look up the ELPA GNU org package archive contents, so if you go to elpa.gnu.org/packages/archive contents, maybe a little bit hard to see on the screen, it's basically just a big S expression with A lists and vectors and a lot of other good information in there. So if you download this file using an HTTP client API and then read it in using a Lisp reader or a scheme reader, then you can process this as if it's Lisp data. And that's basically what we did. We wrote some code in the package archive.scm file, which is able to go and download those archive contents files from the various repositories and then parse all the information and then basically created a record type to store all the information so that can be used elsewhere in the code base to consume the information, then turn it into our own internal data model for how packages are represented. So if you were to go over to the package.scm file, you can see that we've got a separate record type here, or actually a series of record types for things like the package information, the authors of a package, whether they're authors or maintainers, and also the source for the package, because a single package could come from multiple sources. It could come from ELPA. It could also come from GNU Geeks. It could come from a Git repository. So we want to have all that information stored separately so that we can sort of maintain it separately and query for it when we need it. So we've got the record types defined for all that. And then we've got our database creation logic, where probably we should be putting this into a SQL file and then executing it directly. But for now, we're just doing sort of raw SQL queries. Cool thing about this was that during the streams, when we were working on these schemas, we were actually using the REPL to interactively develop the schema and do test queries and insertions against those. So we were able to do some REPL-driven development in Guile to build this stuff up interactively, which is great. Just checking to make sure I'm recording, because otherwise this is completely a waste of time. My eyes, says Cal. Yes, I'm blinding you. I'm very sorry. We also created some procedures for interacting directly with a database, like querying for packages, reading individual package details, inserting package authors. So we have to do some inserts across various tables to make sure that all the information stays up to date, so that we will eventually be able to do join queries to put together things like, let's say we have a package, and then there could be authors of a package, but there could be one author can be an author of many packages, and one package can have multiple authors. So we've had to design a database schema that has an intermediate relation table. So you can see we have the packages table we're creating here. We also have the package author table, which stores the details about a particular package author. Then there's a package authors table, which sort of sits in between, that just sort of maps the packages table to the package author table so that we can get all the information. Haven't written the queries for that yet to get that, to join them together and use them, but that will be probably next week. What else do we have here? Just general CRUD operations for inserting packages. Also, I think we have something for deleting a package, also setting a package name. So just, general interaction with a SQLite 3 database from within Guile Scheme. Definitely check out this this file here. It's in the emacsPackages.com repo under /source site models package.sem. If you want to find the source code for that, check out the link in the description below. You can sort of just see some examples of how you would actually use SQLite from within Guile Scheme, which is kind of exciting. Let's see, what else do we do? So we synced all the package archives from GNU ELPA, non-GNU ELPA. Had some help from Trev. Thanks, Trev, for fixing up some of the work that we did to make sure that those things get synced correctly, because there is a little bit of variance in how the information is stored in those package archives. So I have to do a little bit of sanitization of the information. So Trev helped out with that. Then on Monday, we did more of the fleshing out of the data model. We've already shown some of that work, but this is sort of a progressive process over the last week. So we fleshed out the schemas and we added that sort of join table that we were talking about just before. And then today what we did was we tried to improve the design of the code base by splitting out a lot of the code that we had just written in one main.scm file into separate modules. There were a couple reasons for this. One is that we want to have a script to synchronize all the information from the package repositories, either by deleting the existing database that we have, or later eventually overwriting or sort of merging the information into the database that we already have. But we want to have that be a script that can be run separately and not as part of the program, so that you don't have to run that like at startup basically for your web server. So we added a new scripts folder, and we have a sync archives.scm file. And this file is actually treated as a script. It has the shebang line at the top that you might be able to see here to run Guile, set the load path appropriately, and call into a main function. And then this will take care of the process of creating initializing the database, and then synchronizing from the package sources that we have asked for. Right now, only the two ELPA archives that we're looking at the moment. But then we pull that stuff in. We use a match lambda to then extract the fields of the ELPA package record type that we created as a result of syncing that information. And then we insert those packages directly into our database. So this is sort of the initial step for setting up this website locally for yourself. You need to run the sync archives.scm file script to synchronize the archives into your local database. And then you can use the new start server script under the scripts folder to then load up the site server module that we created today and then run start server to start up the server to run locally so that you can try that out. So if I go back into ANSI term, I can start up that server. So I'm running it through Geek shell-in manifest.scm -- and then I'm running the scripts/start server.scm file. I'm running it directly because it's got an executable bit set on it. And the file itself has a shebang line at the top to tell how to run that script. So this is actually a script that you can execute in a Unix-based system. It says it's listening on localhost. I can go back to the tab for that and then go to the main page. You can see how we've got some CSS set up here. It looks terrible at the moment because it's just, some initial test CSS. I'll talk about that in a moment. But you can click on the package listing and see all the packages here with terrible colors. You can't really see what it says, but we actually do have real package data that's coming from those archives. We see the list of keywords for the packages if they're there. You also see the description of the packages. I think all of those are set at least. And let's search for denote here. So we can look for the denote package. I can click on that package and then go to a details page that says details for denote. Only says the description right now, but that's stuff that we're going to fill in next week as we start to flesh out our querying against the database and then building out the UI for the website to display this in a more appealing and useful way. And then later on, we'll be able to start adding some more interactivity where people can start adding tips for packages. Maybe you probably need to set up an account for yourself on the site so that you can add tips and then also say which packages that you use in your own configuration. So we're making a lot of progress. I feel like we're going to have something useful pretty soon, and then we'll get into the business of deploying the site to a server using GNU Geeks. Last thing I wanted to mention is that CSS generation code. We did a stream on System Crafters Live a couple weeks ago where we wrote some code for generating CSS from an S expression, almost like SXML. So that code is now checked into the project at a very basic level. Had to make a couple tweaks on it to make sure that everything worked today, but we have the ability to do SCSS to CSS. And then you can see an example here where I'm actually generating and caching the CSS that I want to use in the site. This is really terrible. This is not a good code pattern, but it's what I use just to get it working right now. So we generate and cache the CSS string, and then we've added an extra handler in our server handler to then say that whenever anybody requests the assets/site.css file, let's just give that rendered CSS. Render it the first time it's requested, and then return the cached version from that point forward. So that's the strategy we'll go for now, but we're going to change that as time goes on so that we can dynamically update the CSS while the server is running, and then we can do some experimentation. So maybe next time we could try to do some of that sort of live hacking of the templates and CSS. That might be pretty fun, actually. So I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made in the last week. Hopefully this has been interesting to you to follow along with. Leave notes in the comments, ask questions about the project. Definitely follow the live streams. That's Monday and Wednesday mornings, at least my time, at 7:30 a.m. UTC. So you'll have to find what time that is in your local time zone. But if you're awake and conscious, let's say, and able to understand someone talking about code at that hour of the day, please come join because it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of good questions, and I think that the people who are here having a good time too. So join, follow along, and I'll certainly let you know more about what we do with the project as time goes on. And until next time, happy hacking. We'll see you. All right, so that's the video. I think that's done, right? All right. I think we had a lot of good progress for the day. So I appreciate all of you who have been here to follow along and to give feedback. Hopefully you will all be around next week as well whenever we do some more work on this. I think it's going to start getting really interesting soon. I think we're getting to the point now where we're out of the baby phase of the project. We're on the sort of toddler taking its first steps phase, and it's going to get more and more interesting as time goes on. I feel like now we're starting to establish a structure for the project that is not so basic. So it's getting more interesting. We're going to have fun. So let's keep going. Monday, we'll be back to it again. Friday, we'll talk about whatever on the stream. I don't know what we'll talk about yet on the Friday stream, but at least for Monday, we have some work to do. Let me actually make sure that I have that written down. Set up REPL-driven caching. set up REPL-driven interactive development of HTML and CSS. Because that'll be super interesting, I think. Okay? All right. Well, thank you all folks for being here today. Appreciate your time and attention. And let me know what you think. Until next time, happy hacking. We'll see you.